Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Panthers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside fair of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
From back at the 8 now after the false start, another try at 1st and goal. From the gun, Knight throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Knight pushing through the contact. Now he's flushed out. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line. Amendola, he was the intended target. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them. Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On the ground, McCaffrey. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. They'll halt play here for an injury as Christian McCaffrey is slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Newton. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge step.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Derrick Henry. Oh, look at the juke. He finds an opening past the 40. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Off the play fake. Knight. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Brandon, their last miss on third down, they actually were able to alleviate it because they picked it up with a fourth down conversion. I don't know that they'd be wide.
Indeed, going for it as they look to throw. He'll right and got his man complete. Yeah, he's going to get this deep on the Carolina side of the field. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. This is Henry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now it's Henry. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
From the gun, Knight. Buying time to his left. And that's incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw. Knight forced out to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by James Bradbury. Amendola, the intended receiver.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The first carry now. This is Hill. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now it's Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And that penalty will wipe out a big gain by the offense. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Knight. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Back to throw. Knight. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off at the 46. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
A look at the numbers from last week for Olsen. 6 catches, 51 yards.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
On second down, Hill. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing on third down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
He finds his target, Fuller. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. From From the gun, it's Griffin. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They begin the drive with Hill. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Caught left side by Funchess. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. He finds his man, the tight end. Olsen.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Now the Packers get set to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll run with Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Holding offense. Still 1st down.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Dontari Poe. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Roughing the passer defense.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
On 1st down, Barrett to throw. That is incomplete. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw is Barrett. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On third down, that's Henry. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it?
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Barrett. And that will be incomplete as well. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
No, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
Now Barrett. Head scratcher there. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
On 3rd down, Newton. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. DJ Moore with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On 3rd and 2, Barrett, and it's complete. Henry, and he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Henry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Barrett looks to throw on first. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Dewan Smoot in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
The Packers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. On the counter, it's Henry. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, Barrett. The Packers unable to pick up the first, and the Panthers will get the football back. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you pointed out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. And he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot. Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And this is going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And they'll run it here. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball.
The way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. From the shotgun, here's Barrett. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Working out of the gun, it's Barrett. And the pressure gets to him again. Dontari Poe in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Throwing on 3rd and long. Barrett, a hit as he throws there, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So they get the 3 points, but they've now had 3 trips into the red zone, and that's all they've come away with.
And in the NFL, the way they measure red zone efficiency and success, did you score touchdowns on those drives? That's first and foremost. Getting points, that's the second measurement. So by that measure, they haven't done very well. They've got to figure that out.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And a look at Jeremy Hill as he heads back out there now. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows, they're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Panthers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Newton. It's caught by Funchess. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They were
looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. You're going into halftime with a good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Newton now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
To throw on second down. Newton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Newton. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Gano's kick is right through. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. Mitchell Trubisky has thrown a touchdown pass there. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Mark Ingram has a couple of touchdowns thus far. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. His guys have the lead at Lambeau.
Not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Our focus shifts here to J.T. Barrett and company as they take the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They go play action here on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They use their pullback and pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Following the penalty, it's Hill. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And caught left side, Olsen.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still third down.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Newton, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and we will remain tied here in this third quarter.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. That guy's going to want the football a whole lot more. I'd hate to be the offensive coordinator now because all he's going to say is, how come I'm not touching him more? Do you see me out there moving around, wiggling and making it happen? Give me the ball, coach.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap.
Holding
in this
offense.
situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
A big loss there of 9 yards on the play. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still second down.
On second down, Barrett fighting to step, but now he's swallowed it up and taken down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Here's Barrett on play action. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. And they say officially it's a 68-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And we will remain tied here in this third quarter. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still first down.
To throw is Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On second down, here's Newton. And this will be incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So it's third and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they bring in an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Again, it's Henry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. Off the play fake, Barrett. And it'll be third down. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally down at the 32-yard line. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that. Having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Henry out of the pistol. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. On third down, that's Henry. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. On 4th down, Barrett. The quick slant caught. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
Back to throw Barrett. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bruce Irvin in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a solid pickup, 8 yards, but work still to do now on 3rd and goal.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in this 2nd half. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Barrett escaping the pressure right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. They'll run. It's Henry. And he'll get it only to about the 3 and no further as they stop him. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play. Yeah. But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always said, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Hill. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
Flex round! Flex round!
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give the tackle there to Gerald Hodges.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On 3rd down, it's Henry. And shutting him off, now open field. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Now Barrett. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Danny Amendola, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers have moved out in front. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Crosby on now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They fake the give. Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Looking to throw on second down. Newton over the middle. It's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And now Edelman. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of the defense that much, where every play call you have, a run or a pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of him, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
A first down carry for Henry. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Off Play action. Barrett. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. That one good for 10 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
I love the modern game, but that was a throwback right there to see the big man with football, running, knocking people aside, and picking up yardage. That takes me back to the 60s, the 70s, when fullbacks ruled the earth.
On 3rd down, that's Henry. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll run for it with Henry. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it.
Offense.
Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Kenny Clark able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
To throw on 2nd down, Newton. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start. Offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now a handoff here to Bohannon, the fullback. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So, Party, next time we see this coaching staff, I want you to have my back here because that was really kind of a white flag type of a play, almost a little bit of a surrender. Just turn and hand it to the big guy, get what you can, and be prepared to kick the ball away.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Edelman set to return. Evades the tackler, and now some space.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Barrett. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
To throw is Barrett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So nursing a slim lead, and that is the opposite of protecting that slim lead.
All I can think here is that head coach, he knows more about what's going on with his team than we do. He must know something's up.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Now Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, right?
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's take it.
After review of the play, the wording on the field is reversed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's a loss of 2, now third down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the...
Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The previous play is under review.
Well, there's a reason he's called Riverboat Ron. Rivera going to leave the offense out on fourth down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time this unit was out here, Costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Here's Barrett looking to throw. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Give to Henry. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Again to the fullback on the dive. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And Crosby puts it through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And this stadium is abuzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing.
And you can't help but think back to Tom Dempsey. And his record stood for, what, 43 years until Matt Prater broke it? And now here's a new record. And I'm with you. I cannot believe that ball went through the posts.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
And this is caught. He hits Moore. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. And with 4 seconds remaining, they will call the timeout. So just enough of a cushion there to bring on the field goal unit and try to send this one to the extra session. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that's going to tie the ball game at 27-all. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Panthers coming out now. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Yeah, punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially if they're in a field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. On fourth down, Barrett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. Well, when they kept the offense on the field, you saw the face I made looking at you like, what are they doing? How did they do that?
Yeah, that's almost a miracle, isn't it? Because the two of us have talked to play callers, and every time we talk to them about going for it on fourth and long, they give us that same look you just gave me. And they always say, I don't have that call on my play sheet, Haas. We just don't have that one. Well, apparently he did, and they got it.
And in overtime, wow. And past the 30 down to about the 27. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And that's tough duty for a strong safety because truly he's a hybrid-type player. A pass defender, which makes him more of a defensive back, but really his tackling ability is like a linebacker. So they don't mind coming up and taking those guys on, but that's a tough task there, taking on the big fella.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, the poking.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
Wow, Charles, that doesn't just take points off the board. That takes a win off the board.
So now you have to regroup, because you've gone from celebrating what you think is a win to trying to figure out how to do it again and make it a win.
Throwing here, Barrett. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That puts a good dent into their first down setback. It's a pickup of 16. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards. So tough to cover a big tight end like that.
It changes the chalk, as one of my coaches like to say, meaning the normal things don't apply. All right? Used to say, okay, there's a tight end going out. We're either going to put a big linebacker on him or maybe a safety and call it a day. Now, because of the strength of that position and the sheer number of catches that they make, as well as their dexterity, sometimes you have to put a cornerback on him because he might be the primary guy going out for a pass. It changes what they do defensively, and it's usually not good for the defense.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. We wouldn't rule it out with these guys. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down.
I have to tell you, this play call surprised me a bit here on 4th down. This isn't 4th and 1. They need a few yards here. But it's the element of surprise to give it to the fullback that I think ultimately is what's going to get them the first down.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Green Bay, they remain as hot as anyone.